This is my way of helping you when you're absent. Right? Okay, so let's talk about what we're actually working with, which is our 10 thoughts a day. Any questions on this? You good? Okay, good. So let's talk about the 10 thoughts a day. What's happening with the 10 thoughts that you're writing every day? What kind of thinker are you guys finding out you are being?
Curious.
You're a curious thinker? Okay. And you're a what thinker?
Self-critical, and I worry a lot.
Okay, self-critical and worry, right? And anybody else want to share?
Future.
Always worried about the future?
Yes.
Okay, right. So when we talk about thoughts, we talk about energy, because our thoughts are energy. And I remember I posted up on the board that our thoughts create our beliefs, and our beliefs create our reality. If we truly believe something to the heart of hearts, we really, really think it, we believe it, and then it becomes our reality, right? So if our thoughts are energy, everything that we think is. Somewhere along the line, you worry so much, it's going to happen. So we have to create an awareness, which is what we're doing with our thoughts. By writing our thoughts, we are creating an awareness. That which gets measured gets improved. Think about that, guys. That which gets measured gets improved. So as you are writing your thoughts down, yoga tells us that we become aware of our thoughts and what the feelings that it brings into our body, and immediately comes in through our chakras. And normally we would think that it comes right here, but what happens is that according to the chakras, we think it sends the reverberation all the way down through the kundalini, right, through that nadis channel, comes all the way back up and then back down. So it's like this, pinball effect, right? So as we read, starting this week, your homework is to, how many of you guys have bought the book already? Okay, good. Begin to read. Those of you that have not bought the book, you need to read the book, because by Monday you need to have the introduction written in your book. Okay?
From the book.
From the book. You're going to read the introduction to the chakra book and summarize it. I think the introduction is like 2 little pages. So you're going to read the introduction and summarize it. That's your homework.
Do you want our own thoughts on it, or just some?
Yes. Yes. Don't just regurgitate it, but your own thoughts on it. Okay? Your own thoughts on it. This book is created so that it goes along with your yoga, okay? All right, so we need to really be aware of our chakras, and we need to be aware of how our thoughts affect that. Once you're aware, then we are going to move into the space of acceptance. Okay? I accept that I'm this kind of a thinker. And then we're going to take the action to make it different, right? So it's kind of like, it's very much exactly like when you want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, you're either going to measure your inches, or you're going to measure your weight, or you're going to measure your foods. You're going to change your foods. You're going to write it down somewhere, because that which gets measured or tracked gets improved, right? How many of you guys know when you say you're going to diet, and before you actually write it down, all of a sudden you get starving hungry. And everything, and then you sit down and you get bombarded by food thoughts and all this, and everybody's eating this great stuff, and before you know it, you've gained more weight than when you started, right? And that's simply because as soon as you set an intention, a thought is a creation of an energy, the universe will test you. Always. Always. The universe will test you to see how truly and committed you really are, which is part of the Jnana Yoga. It's going to test your intellect. How strong is her philosophy to changing this? Right? Let me give you an example. We get this all the time. And perhaps, Cynthia, maybe you get it in your line of work, where somebody says, I'm going to get that insurance. And then all of a sudden they fall off the face of the earth, and you keep calling them and you keep calling them. And they told you they wanted that insurance, and you keep calling them, you keep calling them, and they never return your calls. Why? Because they allow life to happen to them. Because they're not truly committed. That's why when people say, I'm going to lose weight, and then they don't lose weight, you have to be committed to looking at all the avenues. It's not just about the food you eat, guys. Trust me, as a functional diagnostic nutritionist, I know it's not just about the food you eat. 53% of the environmental toxins that you were exposed to are the causes of cancer. That research just came out. Right? So it's not just about that. It's not just, if it were that easy, don't you think we'd all be walking around a little bit thinner? Because we could just change, stop eating at McDonald's and all those other places and boom, be, but not anymore, because we're exposed to environmental toxins. Our food, we're eating an impoverished food supply. Even if you eat organic like me, it's still impoverished because our soils don't have all the nutrients, right? So the universe will test you. Just know that and be aware of that, okay? So think about that. I just want you to think about, ponder that. How many times have you said you're going to do something and then, boom, life comes, knocks you down. Boom, when my life comes, knocks you down. Boom, I've got enough money in the bank, I'm going to save for this, I'm going to save for that, and boom, something happens, your car breaks down, boom, there goes the money. Yes? Because the universe says, how committed are you? Right? And it's based on success and failure. Remember that success is not measured by your failures, but it's measured by how you get up from those failures and continue moving. Right? Because we all get knocked down. We all do. But how many of us get right back up, shake it off, and move forward regardless of what other people think, say, or feel? And some of us can't seem to surpass that, right? So, coming back to how all this works, choosing our paths of yoga, in this class you're going to get an opportunity to taste all and view and preview all the 4 paths. Can you think of somebody who lives that Karma Yoga? Who's the epitome of a Karma Yoga service? Who was? Mother Teresa, exactly. Mother Teresa. You guys all know Mother Teresa? Mm-hmm. Mother Teresa spent her whole life doing action, working through what's called selfless service, and work on her spirituality. Right? She spent her whole life doing that. So that was the path that she chose. So those are just the 4 paths that we're going to taste all of them, preview all of them, experience all of them, try all of them, and then incorporate them and weave them into the 8 steps that we learned on Monday. Right? We good? We ready for some asana? Let's do this.